Greg Piechota, researcher in Residence International News Media Association. You started with the cow aus Arwangen.
Yes, I did. Because this is an amazing story known all over the world. I actually heard about it on BBC. So I felt like, what an interesting story that is covered by all the major media outlets in Switzerland. Maybe this tells us something about Swiss. It tells us that Swiss are very connected with the nature, with the heritage, very stereotypical story. But can we make this cow more modern? Can we make this cow speak? Can we make this cow speak in German? And this is what AI helped me to achieve, to get the cow with the Matterhorn in the background, start speaking German. I actually experimented with a Swiss accent, and people said it was kind of close, but not there yet. It seems AI struggles with the Swiss. The Swiss are hard.
There's some AI that works quite good with
That's
Swiss
correct.
German, but I know it's still a problem to have it really good. From whom the bell reality rolls?
For whom the bell tolls is a key question when you think about the impact of AI and generative AI on news publishers. Because AI is going to affect consumers, AI is going to affect markets, the way companies compete with each other. AI is going to affect operations of companies, how we do the work, how we organize, how we achieve our results. And it will also affect us all as employees, as managers. We need to start actually learning how to work alongside the machines. And this is challenging for creative people like journalists, for marketeers, for product people, for office workers. So for whom the bell tolls? I'm afraid it tolls for you.
What's the AI content tsunami you talked about?
So generative AI can be used to create content at scale. And we see hundreds of news websites being launched across the world that are completely done by machines. The content might be, it might be transformed content from other websites. It might be fake news. There is no way to tell. These websites produce thousands of articles every week. So this is what we call an AI content tsunami. It's basically the internet becoming less and less reliable and filled with content of unknown origin and unknown accuracy.
So now the question for publishers is how to adapt their business models. So what's your answer there?
That's a very broad question. The business model is how we create value. So how do we create value for our readers? How do we create value for our subscribers, for our advertisers? We can use AI in many different ways. We can use AI to create better products. We can use AI to create products more cheaply. Then another part of the business model is, how do we operate? How, can we be more efficient, more productive in our work? Business model is also about how do we make money. So, for example, is AI going to help us to choose, for example, what price should be offered to whom and for what? Can AI help us to basically create new sources of revenue? For example, through licenses to AI companies and so on. So AI clearly can impact the business model of publishers at every stage of this model.
So you just brought us a couple of really very interesting examples of media companies already using AI in a very innovative form. So can you just maybe one example of those?
I subscribed to Le Monde in English, the great French newspaper, always published in French, and my French is as bad as my Swiss German. And, but thanks to AI, Le Monde is able to offer an English edition every day. They use AI to translate articles from French to English. Then they have a team of 5 journalists to actually review the translations, because there are always some mistakes, just to make sure that the content is of the highest quality. And then they created a product that sells 1,000 subscriptions per month. And it helps Le Monde to reach their North Star goal of 1 million digital subscriptions.
So what's the business case for AI-generated content in general?
You know that because AI is influencing the economics of content, we need to be able to understand, how to match content cost to content value. And when we have content of high demand, that is in high demand, that people want to pay for, we obviously want to be able to put our best journalists, human journalists, to report on that. But there will be part of our content production that unfortunately doesn't enjoy similar demand, that basically cannot cost much. And maybe machines can be used to create this part of content. For example, I don't know, a weather forecast for skiing in the canton of near Basel. Yeah? This is an example. Maybe having a journalist writing an article for each canton with a weather forecast, it's just no longer viable in today's world. Maybe using machines to write those articles would be a good idea. So this is just an example that we need to be thinking that some tasks will stay with humans, obviously, but some tasks can be given to machines when they are, less important, and basically the cost no longer really is justified.
Do you have an advice for Swiss publishers now for the specific situation in Switzerland with direct democracy?
I think that journalism is extremely important in democracies. Yeah? And we need to make sure that journalism survives. And journalism survives partly because it's focused on its purpose, but partly because it is well funded. So publishers cannot just look away from AI, because AI is going to impact consumers whether we want it or not. It's going to impact the business whether we want it or not. It will impact other publishers whether we want it or not. It will impact us. So we cannot just look away from it. We need to learn about it. And the best way to learn is try to use it. When we use it, we need to develop our thinking about what is the right use and what is wrong. We need to think about what is the right way to use it in journalism. We need to develop policies, guidelines for journalists, and we need to make sure that AI stays truthful to the values that are important for us, such as honesty in reporting, such as factuality, such as verification of information, and other important values and activities of journalism.
You started your speech with, you talked about your visit of the Landesmuseum. So what's your impression of Switzerland?
My impression of Switzerland? I expected 1 meter of snow, and when I arrived, there was no snow. What's going on? Is it global warming or what?
Maybe you should go to the Engadin, and
Maybe
there we have much snow.
Next
and yeah, many thanks.
Thank you.